Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky signed a decree Tuesday declaring negotiating with Russian President Vladimir Putin has become impossible following Putin's attempt to annex 4 Ukrainian regions. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters Russia will wait until Zelensky changes his mind or a new president takes office in Ukraine to propose negotiations. Meanwhile, the White House said U.S. President Joe Biden has assured Zelensky in a phone call that the United States will never recognize Russia's purported annexation of Ukrainian territory. Meanwhile, human rights monitors say freedom of expression, assembly, and other civil and political rights are being constrained in Russia-occupied areas of Ukraine. Lisa Schlein reports for VOA from Geneva.
Since its last update in July, UN monitors report a dramatic escalation in the war in Ukraine. They document continued widespread destruction of civilian infrastructure. They report Russian attacks against civilians in populated areas using explosive weapons have caused many casualties. Russia has denied targeting civilians. UN monitors say reports of torture and ill treatment of enforced disappearance of both civilians and prisoners of war continue. They add some of those and other human rights violations could amount to war crimes. The report finds civilians continue to bear the brunt of hostilities. It has documented 6,114 civilians killed and more than 9,000 injured. However, it notes the real figures are likely to be considerably higher. First Secretary of Russia's permanent mission to the UN in Geneva, Guzal Kusanova, calls the report one-sided and unbalanced. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
North Korea Tuesday conducted its longest-ever weapons test, a nuclear-capable ballistic missile that flew over Japan and could reach the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam and beyond. The test forced the Japanese government to issue evacuation alerts and halt train travel. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and President Joe Biden jointly condemned the missile launch in the strongest terms during a phone call Tuesday, according to a White House statement. It said Biden reinforced the administration's ironclad commitment to Japan's defense and said both leaders recognized North Korea's actions as a danger to the Japanese people, destabilizing to the region, and a clear violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions. South Korea and the U.S. conducted air drills Tuesday in response to the ballistic missile launch by North Korea, scrambling 4 South Korean F-15 fighters and 4 U.S. F-16 jets to take part in the drills. The number of job openings in the U.S. dropped in August compared with July, a sign that businesses may be pulling back on hiring. But while that may not be good news for U.S. job seekers, it could be good news for U.S. inflation rates. Associated Press correspondent Julie Walker reports.
The government says there were 10.1 million advertised jobs on the last day of August, down a huge 10% from openings in July. Layoffs ticked up in August, but remained at historically low levels. That's according to the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey. The sharp drop in job openings will be welcomed by the Federal Reserve, which is hoping to reduce the demand for workers by raising its key short-term interest rate. On Friday, we get the unemployment rate, which is forecast to remain unchanged at 3.7%. I'm Julie Walker.
In a world's first, the European Parliament Tuesday approved new rules that will introduce in the European Union a single charging port for mobile phones, tablets, and cameras by 2024. The measure's sponsors say it will save thousands of tons of electronic waste, facilitate the reuse of old electronics, better consumer convenience, reduce unnecessary costs, and also save millions of dollars. The new rules, which will make USB-C connectors used by Android-based devices the standard across the 27-nation bloc. Old chargers will not be outlawed, however, so customers can continue to use existing models. The change does mean, however, Apple products will now have to change their charging ports for iPhones and other devices. Repeating the hour's top news story, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky signed a decree Tuesday declaring negotiating with Russian President Vladimir Putin has become impossible following Putin's attempt to annex 4 Ukrainian regions.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.